Siomra beag.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Sure Look, Sure Listen, the podcast that takes a pop at culture.
Sure look, sure listen. Sure look, sure listen.
Sure look, sure listen.
Sure look, sure listen.
Sure look, sure listen.
Sure look, sure listen.
Sure look, sure listen. Oh, very good, Benjamin. Unlike what's going on in Marvel lately, according to the latest Variety article. But not only that, we've also seen the South Park Panderverse, and there are trailers for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Marvel Studios Echo for some reason, and The Fall Guy.
Sure, listen, Michael.
And I've seen The Fall of the House of Usher.
Speaking of Fall Guys, you've seen The Fall of the House of Usher. Sure, listen, Michael, if that wasn't enough, and it is actually, we've got trailers back, Michael. We've gone from 3 weeks of feck all trailers to 3 reasonable trailers in a week. Get out of here.
Real exciting stuff. Real exciting stuff.
Astro Boy is something that has seized my imagination, Michael, because I watched Pluto, the anime adaptation of the Naoki Kurosawa 2002 rejuvenation of the classic shonen manga, and I went, I wonder what's going on with Astro Boy. Is he just Japan's Mickey Mouse, or is he something more? And that's what we're going to talk about today.
Benjamin, speaking of the House of Mouse,
yes,
the latest article from US Source, the Variety magazine.
Yes.
I'm going to summarise it for you, Benjamin.
Okay, I have it here, but yeah.
Okay, but I'll summarise it for you very briefly. Marvel's fucked.
Yeah, so they've published a new article this week, Michael, and it's got lovely little illustrations of a bunch of Marvel heroes looking very confused. More appropriately, Michael, the newest bout of heroes looking a bit confused.
All of the diverse women.
All of the diverse women. Now, I'm not sure, Michael, what's going on here. But Variety is essentially trying to show the fall of a pop culture dynasty. And it's doing its due diligence as journalists, Michael. And it's trying to come up with legitimate reasons that Marvel might be failing. The major implication of the article, Michael, is that it's Jonathan Majors.
Oh, is it Jonathan Majors? I knew it was Jonathan Majors even when it was diverse women.
And I think, Michael, I think that's a bit fucking cheeky to be like, oh, it's that fella's fault.
It's that one fella's fault. Never mind that they made 4 years of rubbish movies before that fella came along.
Yeah, Michael, I think it might just be that it's a bit shit now.
Yeah, I think it might just be that it's rubbish, Ben. I think it might just be that it's rubbish and nobody cares.
Yeah, so the article points to a few different things, Michael. One of the things that it says is, there's the legal problems, and then we have reshoots because we're worried about the Marvels. So reshoots apparently is a concern.
Oh, yeah. Benjamin, here's the thing, though.
What?
Have you ever heard of the film The Marvels?
Yes.
It's out next week, Ben.
It's out next week and nobody cares, Michael.
Nobody gives a flying F about The Marvels being out next week.
And let's be clear, Michael, it's not because we hate women.
No.
Just nobody cares.
Although you do, but that's not why you care about this film. Ben, I tell a lie, Benjamin. Excuse me, I'm very sorry. I tell a lie. It's out this week.
It's out this week, Michael. Even worse. Even worse. There are a few other concerns, Michael, raised in the thing. One is overproduction and quality concerns. Marvel's ambitious strategy to produce a constant stream of interconnected content to Disney Plus may have led to overproduction, resulting in viewer fatigue and quality issues. Or they're just a bit shit. Yeah.
Benjamin, I'm giving you the face that they would have done in the 90s and saying, do you think?
Very good,
and then
Michael.
I'm doing a little sassy head movement.
Yes, you are neither the right race nor the right age to do either of those things. But
very
that's
good,
okay.
Benjamin. You believe in the concept of a right race, do you? I'd like to get further into that.
Get fucked. The other thing that they said is causing a quality issue, Michael, is poor Kevin Feige is under pressure.
Yeah, probably is.
Probably because the last few movies he's put out have been shit.
Yeah, rubbish. Rubbish and boring.
Yeah. So one of the things I think, the other major thing they point out to is, and you being a box office aficionado, Michael, will have a lot to say on this, but they keep going, oh, well, the movies aren't making $1 billion. To which I have to say, Michael, not a lot of movies make billions.
Increasingly more movies make billions, Ben. The billion used to be a real elite club.
Go on.
But, you're still holding to the same standard when increasingly more and more movies are making $1 billion. Like, a $1 billion movie is, sure, it's a massive thing, but it's not a once-in-a-lifetime thing that it once was.
Yeah.
Before the era of Avengers, Benjamin, there were $2 billion movies.
That
Titanic and Avatar.
Get out of town.
That's it. And then they all started creeping along. I don't think the first Avengers made $1 billion, did it? It might have. I think it 900 million or something. But then Iron Man made $1 billion. Iron Man 3 made $1 billion. And then
Iron Man 3 was shit.
Yeah, it was rubbish. No, it wasn't rubbish. It was better than anything they've done in the last 4 years.
Well, that's true.
But yeah, it's increasingly common to see $1 billion movies. And a large part of that is probably just inflation.
Yeah, probably. One of the things I think is most offensive about this article, Michael, is they go on to be like, well, audiences just aren't ready for the diverse new casts that Marvel are putting out. To which I say, no, they are. There's a lot of demand for diverse new characters and casts. But you see, they have to be good for them to do well.
Yeah, they have to be good. They can't just be rubbish.
That's the secret. But the article, I think, really does, Michael, weigh heavily on. It's the title of the article is Inside Marvel's Jonathan Majors Problem. And it's not Jonathan Majors. Stop that.
No. That's like problem number 6 on the list.
Yeah, it's not him. It would be very convenient for them if it was him. I have to say, Michael, here's a little controversial statement for you.
Go on.
He's still a very likeable actor. He was great as Kang Edison Kang or Tesla Kang.
Yeah, very good. Benjamin,
very
a
annoying.
little secret for you, a little inside secret from box office tracking, Ben, to use the industry term. The Marvels is tracking to a less than $50 million opening weekend.
How much did it cost them to make, Michael?
Considerably more than that. I'd say close to 200 million. But that is the lowest for a Marvel movie in a generation.
That's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I know that Nia DaCosta has come out ahead of the movie, and this is always a good sign for a movie, Michael, and said that it's been a very challenging experience because the producers really don't allow anybody to have their vision.
Yeah. Also, Nia DaCosta pissed off and didn't stick around for reshoots. He's gone. Ben's gone. He's just gone.
Hello, I'm back. I'm back. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened there, Michael. Just lost my connection.
You buggered off.
I just left, Michael. So outraged was I, Michael, by the claims that it was all bloody the producer's fault that I left. I was just like, I'm out.
Very good, Benjamin. Like a young Nia DaCosta. Anyway, I think of Marvel as the 2020s DC.
Well, Michael, I'm going to subvert the old running order here, Michael.
Oh.
And I'm going to say we got a trailer from Marvel this week that looks like it was straight out of DC.
Oh, very good. Are you talking about Marvel's Echo?
Yeah. What was that?
Benjamin, here's the thing about Marvel's Echo.
Go on.
Nobody wanted it.
Nobody asked for it. Not a soul.
Nobody asked for it. There's a small but, genuine community of people who are delighted to see disabled actors of colour on screen.
And good for them.
Good for them and good for her.
Yes.
But that doesn't really play into a mainstream money-making audience unless it's not rubbish.
Well, look, come here to me, Michael. Now, I have to say, having watched this, I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it. It's a little bit darker, Michael. It's interesting that we've taken Echo, or Maya, from the Hawkeye Christmas series 2 years ago?
Yes.
Is it last year or 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
No one's ever heard from Jeremy Renner ever again because he got hit by a tractor.
He got run over by a snowplow, Ben.
It was a snowplow, sorry. I thought it was a tractor. My mistake. But come here to me. They took a character out of what was essentially a far too jovial series.
I didn't think it was jovial enough, but go on.
Go on. And they've bloody darkened it up. They've gritted it up, Michael. They've looked at one good old-fashioned D'Onofrio and said, Vinny, ditch the Hawaiian shirt. We're going back to a classic Kingpin, but this time we're going to make him very gauche.
Yeah, going to make him very gauche. And, the whole timeline of whether he existed in Daredevil or not, don't worry about that.
What do you mean continuity? Get wrecked, scrub.
You're a big, huge fella in a white suit.
Yeah, that's all we need. Michael, very unusual opening to this. We get a little deaf Maya.
Yes.
Who's attempting to get hot dog.
Yeah, or an ice cream, I think it is.
Oh, it's an iced cream.
Yeah, she wants an iced cream.
And she wants an iced cream. And she doesn't get it anyway. And big old Kingpin goes, oh, I get wrecked. And he fucks up a young man just trying to make a living.
Yeah. And that's, that's really in character with Kingpin, who just was never calculating or concerned about his public image. Just baiting people up on the side of the street.
Just, first of all, stalking a young deaf girl in a limo.
No, she's his niece.
I know, but he's still, he's just following her around in a limo because she doesn't know he's there initially.
Is he not picking her up from school?
He might be, but I don't know, Michael. I don't know.
I think he was picking his niece up from school, Ben. I don't think he was stalking a young deaf girl.
Well, for the purposes of outrage, stalking a young deaf girl, Michael. And secondly, just kicking the shit out of people in the street.
For no reason.
Just whooping them.
Well, he was a bit of a dick.
He was a bit of a dick.
Very ableist.
Yeah. Very ableist. But then again, Michael, that would have been 1980s New York.
No, Benjamin.
1990s New York?
That actress is 23, Ben.
What?
Yeah, that would have been 2006.
Oh, wow. Then he definitely shouldn't have been doing that. And that ableist young man shouldn't have been such an ableist. He should have known better.
Not in 2006, Ben. In 1982, it would have been grand.
Well, no, we don't want to say that.
No, it would have been encouraged, in fact.
Yeah,
when I was in school in the 80s, Ben, when I was in school in the 80s, we had a whole class on how to properly bully disabled people.
Yeah, well, thank God that maybe didn't make it into the 2010s. But come here to me. Look, it's very dark, Michael, and I think one of the biggest commentaries from people online is, this feels very DC, and I don't think that's a good thing.
Ben, I don't care about Echo.
No, nobody does.
No, she wasn't even the most gripping side character in that show.
Michael, she popped up 3 or 4 times. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, all I can picture is the main cast of Mean Girls showing up and saying, "Stop trying to make Echo happen."
Oh, that's very good, Michael.
Thank you.
Very good, Michael. All episodes dropping January 10th.
Yeah, dropping being the right word.
Yeah, just there you go.
There you go. We made that now. You can't say we didn't.
This comes amidst news, Michael, that we're getting a massively delayed Daredevil.
Hugely delayed.
Daredevil is getting a full script overhaul. I think I read somewhere, Michael, that Marvel had filmed 3 episodes. Kevin Feige took a look at them and went, absolutely fucking not.
Oh, that's good. That's an encouraging sign, isn't it? This is great stuff from Marvel.
Yeah, so the rumour is, Michael, that what we were going to get, and this is just a rumour, I can neither confirm nor deny this.
Go on.
But what we were going to get is a Matt Murdock dealing with the death of Karen Page and Foggy Nelson.
Oh, not great.
And that's why we weren't getting Deborah Ann Wall and whoever played Foggy Nelson back.
That's not very kind to the actor Edson Barbosa. I don't remember his name.
Yeah, neither do I, Michael. But come here to me. What an interesting strategy to take, frankly, a fan favourite character in Karen Page. Everyone loves Karen. Karen's great.
Everyone loved Karen, yeah.
And just be like, no, we're going to kill her off screen and we're going to do the same to Foggy Nelson. The heart of many Daredevil stories, Michael. And that'll be that.
Great stuff altogether. Eldon Henson.
But we've got Echo. Echo's ready to go.
At least Echo's ready to go, and we can watch it all in one day in January and pretend it never happened. Benjamin.
Yes.
Speaking of diverse women of colour, the big news on the... Just so that it's clear why I've been saying this the whole time. Yes. The big news on the internet this week is that South Park have finally come forward and solved the culture wars, Benjamin, by giving us all the correct middle ground to take.
Yeah, I saw
now,
this,
you
Michael.
haven't seen it, so you sound sceptical, but I'm actually being serious, because it's, all joking aside, it is a very funny episode and it's great, but also it is literally the answer.
Okay, well, go on, tell me more.
Well, Benjamin, it's a new South Park special.
Yes.
Episode 6 million of South Park.
How is that still going, Michael?
Benjamin, animated shows just keep going, but the amazing thing about South Park is, apparently, it's still mostly relevant.
they do seem, Michael, to remain at the cutting edge of all this. I don't know how they do it, Michael. Well done, them.
Well done to them, Benjamin, and well done for being sensible in a world of madness. So anyway...
I don't like how this is going, Michael. I
know
feel like
you
you're going
don't.
to take a little red cap out from behind you and put it on your head.
Yeah, of course you do, Benjamin, because you are firmly entrenched in one side of this cultural division.
Yes,
this
the
is
right side.
I thought I would have said more left, to be honest.
We'll never know.
We'll never know, Ben, until you're on one of the red pill websites. Anyway, Ben.
Very good. I'm glad that you took something from our podcast last week. That's nice.
Yeah, I was listening. Benjamin, shut up for a second. I'm trying to tell you about South Park. So in this new episode of South Park, Eric Cartman, everybody's favourite fat little boy,
yes,
is upset because he's having dreams about being replaced by a diverse woman of colour.
Oh, I see.
And Ben, yes, go on.
No, I see.
That's making you nervous, is it?
Yeah, I see.
And Benjamin, it turns out that they're not dreams. He's actually getting a glimpse into an alternate reality.
All right.
Created by exec Kathleen Kennedy.
Oh no, from the Star Wars franchise.
From the Star Wars franchise, Benjamin. And what has happened is Kathleen Kennedy has been overusing the Panderstone.
Oh.
And the Panderstone is a special stone that Disney executives have that allow them to keep remaking the same movies over and over again, pandering to different audiences.
Oh dear.
But Kathleen Kennedy has overused the Panderstone to the extent that she's created a rift between universes.
And that's why Cartman is getting glimpses into somewhere else.
Yes, and Cartman accidentally gets exchanged with the Panderverse Cartman.
Oh, I see. That'll
exactly,
be good.
Ben. And it is fucking gas, and it is on the money.
Okay,
and
well tell me why, Michael. Give me some on the money highlights.
Well, so the depiction of Kathleen Kennedy in it is fabulous.
Okay.
So the Kathleen Kennedy who we end up meeting is another version of Cartman from a different universe. She's like a Kathleen Kennedy Cartman.
I see.
And what has happened is the original Kathleen Kennedy, who had good intentions, was driven to use the Panderstone by how horribly she was being treated by irate fanboys on the internet.
Oh, that's good. That's quite clever.
Yeah, exactly. But it turns out, Ben, that every single one of the irate fanboys was actually just Eric Cartman being a little dick.
Yeah, that sounds about right, because Eric Cartman is generally a bit of a dick.
He's an absolute dick. And one of the best things about it is female Eric Cartman is also a dick.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah,
so they're just everybody's dick bags.
Everybody's an absolute dick bag. But the actress who plays female Eric Cartman is incredible. She doesn't just do Eric Cartman, she does diverse female Eric Cartman. And it is absolutely spot on.
Right? That's pretty good.
But anyway, Ben. Anyway, so Kathleen Kennedy is replaced by this alternate universe Eric Cartman-esque Kathleen Kennedy, whose solution to everything is to put a chick in it and make it gay. And go on.
No, I just yeah. That's yeah.
And she has to team up with Eric, and they both have to realise that maybe they have a point, but they've expressed it poorly in order to join together and solve this crisis.
Right.
And it is great.
It sounds, in fairness, Michael, it sounds pretty good.
Well, this is the thing about South Park, Ben. Everyone always thinks, oh, South Park, it's like... South Park is just saying things to be controversial, or it's saying things... But South Park is never as controversial or as one-sided as people imagine it's going to be when they see a clip of it.
Yeah.
And they pretty much always toe something of a middle ground while poking fun at both.
They are the thinking man centrist.
Exactly. And this is fabulous. And I strongly encourage everybody to watch it. And I also think it's interesting that with Marvel going down the Swanee and South Park so openly taking a big shot at them like this, it's definitely a bit of a swing in the cinematic landscape. I think we're coming to an end of an era here.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's all kinds of things we could point to here, Michael, you know, superhero fatigue and stuff. But frankly, it's just the same story done too many times.
Yeah, too much pandering. Benjamin, now look, hold on. I'm going to say this to you because I think you're misequating the word pandering here. Pandering doesn't only mean pandering to diversity. It can also mean pandering to fans or
Like the Beekeeper.
I don't know what that... Yes. But again, that's again straight into political. They're also pandering to fan service as a type of pandering.
Go on.
The Disney live-action remakes, if they weren't all also being accused of racist pandering or diversity pandering, they could also be accused of pandering to adult Disney fans.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's a lack of creativity, a lack of originality that people are complaining about.
Very good. Oh,
Is that a dog, Ben?
Yes, it's a howling dog. Hang on 2 seconds.
No, don't go and interrupt the dog, people. People love when the dog is on the podcast.
No, they don't.
They do. It's everyone's favourite bit.
Not when it's howling and fucking irritation.
Ben, we're pandering to the dog fans.
Get fucked. Hang on.
People love... Don't say the dog's name on the podcast, Ben.
Sorry.
Now people will be able to kidnap her.
No, they won't. She's very fast. They'll never get her. It's grand. They'll never get her.
Have you done it? Very good.
Anyway,
that's what I have to say about South Park. Very good.
Yeah. But come here to me, Michael. Come here to me.
What?
Have you heard about the latest? This is apropos of nothing, Michael, and I've sadly run against the running order once more.
You've just gone buck wild today, Ben.
Buck wild, baby. Did you hear about the controversy surrounding Disney's latest animated feature? Wish.
No. But I don't really care. What is it going to be this time?
Wish is the 100th anniversary movie that they're going to release for Disney, because Disney is 100 years old, Michael.
Okay.
Which is fucking terrifying in its own way. But anyway, come here to me. What they've done is they released a little snippet during the week, Michael. Chris Pine is playing an evil king in the latest one. He's voicing an evil king.
Okay. The only living voice actor, Chris Pine.
The only living voice actor, Chris Pine, all hail Pine, has released. They released a snippet of him singing a song, Michael. And to use the parlance of the kids, Michael, dear Christ, is it being dragged by the internet?
Who? Chris Pine?
No, the song, Michael. Apparently, it's very, very clear that it's been written by AI.
Oh, good.
And they've literally plugged in, make me a song about a greedy king and make it in the style of Lin-Manuel Miranda. Because for those that don't know, Michael, Lin-Manuel Miranda has been the lyricist for most of the most recent animated Disney films.
He wrote We Don't Care About Bruno or whatever.
Yes. Dun, 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 dun. Very good, Michael. And it's being absolutely destroyed for a lack of originality. It's an incredibly dull thing that actually repeats its own point. Yeah, I let you live here for free and I don't even charge you rent. To which the internet has been very quick to point out that's the same fucking thing.
Classic the internet.
That's what that means.
That's what those words mean. Yeah.
But anyway, that was apropos of nothing, Michael. Speaking of the fall of dynasties, Michael, you've had a little watch of something.
Benjamin, I have now seen every last episode of The Fall of the House of Usher. And I tell you what.
Go on.
Fabulous stuff.
Good. That's what I like to hear.
Another hit for Mike Flanagan and the gang.
Ah, yeah.
Great from start to finish.
Go on, give me a bit more, Michael. We're on a pop culture podcast. Yeah.
Spooky, scary, skeletons.
Oh, yeah.
Ghosts, demons, people being killed by chimpanzees.
Very good.
The only thing that's a bit off about it is its understanding of the world of business and money. Clearly...
who needs to understand that, Michael?
Well, the people who are writing a show about the evils of business.
Oh, yeah, they probably should. Yeah, that probably should
They probably
happen.
should, shouldn't they? Yeah. Like, for example, one of the characters is the eldest daughter of the family, Benjamin, and she is... They're kind of... The future of the company hangs on her to an extent because she's setting up some sort of subscription box.
Oh, a classic subscription box that went out of fashion in 2013.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is a multi-billion-dollar pharmaceutical company, and they're excited about the launch of a subscription box.
Michael,
a lifestyle subscription box.
You can't offer people a lifetime subscription box of pharmaceuticals. That's very dangerous.
Oh, no, it's not that, Benjamin. That's called addiction.
Oh, yeah. Well, America does that very well.
Very well. But that's kind of the point of this, actually. That's kind of the villain of this is the opioid crisis and billionaires.
Well, it is a bit shit.
Oh, yeah, rubbish.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely the worst. But,
so is that what the Ushers are?
Yes. They're opioid billionaires.
Oh, they're Pfizers.
Yeah. They're Pfizers. They're Monsanto. They're those lads.
Oh, yeah.
They're the absolute worst, Benjamin.
The worst of the worst.
But it was great. A great show. A great series. Very well acted. Very exciting. Twists and turns. Spooky demons and gross, horrible deaths.
Very good.
Fabulous.
Very good, Michael.
Fabulous.
Ah, Fall of the House of Usher, lads.
We skipped a trailer, though. You're just all over the place today, Ben. What are you doing?
Michael.
You've gone buck wild.
Michael.
You've skipped a trailer, Ben.
Oh, why do we even have a running order, Michael? Jesus.
You've gone buck wild. You know who I blame, Ben?
Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan Majors. Jonathan Majors is exactly who I blame, Ben. I mean, you can almost say he's a real fall guy.
He's a real fall guy. Michael, we got a trailer for Fall Guy, which I thought we already got, Michael, but I forgot that's Freeman starring Ryan Reynolds. I thought it was the same thing. It's not. Not at all.
No, it's different. It
Not
is
at
a
all.
similar name, though.
It's also similar in tone with the looks of things, Michael. Somebody watched Ryan Gosling in the Barbie movie as Ken and went, yeah, I forgot how funny Ryan Gosling is. And then they gave themselves a double matinee and they watched the absolutely classic Nice Guys with Ryan Gosling, and they said, do you know what? Let's just make him do that again. So they've got Ryan Gosling doing what he's the absolute best at, an incredibly competent man who is also a silly, goofy boy.
He's such a silly goose, isn't he?
He's such a silly, goofy boy, Michael. A silly, goofy boy.
He's a classic himbo in many ways.
Oh, Michael, Ryan Gosling is the himbo template, and it's just they've just realised put him in that role, and we'll make some fucking money.
Will they though?
I hope so. I'm going to go see it, Michael. I love these kinds of films. I love Ryan Gosling.
I don't know if anyone is excited by this, sadly.
Why would they be, Michael? See, I think genuinely that Hollywood is bleeding out from the fact that none of the actors can promote their films.
Yes, obviously that. Although Variety doesn't seem to think that matters, but yes.
Variety never thinks anything matters, Michael. Variety's
Except
Variety.
Jonathan Majors.
Except Jonathan Majors. It's all Jonathan Majors' fault. But come here to me. None of them can plug these things. And frankly, half the reason you cast Ryan Gosling in a film is so he does your press tour for you. Because he's very charming.
He's what they called in the old days, Ben, a Hollywood star.
A Hollywood star, Michael. Might be one of the last, to be honest.
Go on.
Because very rarely will you hear these days, I'm going to see the new Chris Pine film. But I would say that you hear people saying, I'm going to see the new Ryan Gosling film.
Yeah, or I'm going to see the new Chris Pratt film. It's animated. The only living voice actor, Chris Pratt.
Chris Pine, you prick. You've mixed them up.
Are they not the same? I thought they were the same.
Very good, Michael. It's been one long bit. Anyway, Ryan Gosling is playing a stunt man.
Oh, very good.
Who has a one-night stand with a director played by Emily Blunt.
Oh, yeah. Well, good for him.
Awkward. It's very awkward at work, Michael.
Yeah, that's why you don't have sex where you work.
Don't have sex where you eat, as the old adage goes, Michael. But
is it?
Yes, that's exactly how it's said. And Michael, Aaron Taylor-Johnson.
I best give the kitchen table an old wipe down, Benjamin, then, before I have you up for dinner next time. That's
getting you in more trouble than it's getting me in, buddy. I don't have to touch that one. Come here to me.
What is it?
Aaron Taylor-Johnson is playing the greatest Hollywood star, essentially the Ryan Gosling of this movie's universe.
Oh, I thought he was playing Tom Cruise.
It's probably a little bit that as well, I think. And
isn't his name like Tom Booze?
I think that's what it is, yeah. So Ryan Gosling is sent to find him, Michael, because he's nowhere to be seen on set. And if he doesn't turn up, they're not going to make any money.
Oh, no. They wouldn't even want to make the film then.
Yeah. So that's what we're getting, Michael. It looks to be an absolute classic where they just let Ryan Gosling spin his wheels, be a goofy, silly guy who's remarkably competent.
Ben, you know what I think is undercutting this?
Go on.
It feels very tonally similar to a lot of trailers of things I can see for free on streaming services.
Yes, like Freeman.
Like Free Man. Was that the one? Free Guy? Is that the one you
Free
mean? with Ryan
Guy,
Reynolds?
that's what I meant.
I think you were thinking of Morgan Freeman.
I'm not thinking of him, no. But,
Hollywood
I mean,
actor Morgan Freeman.
it is remarkably similar, Michael, right down to the, the F Guy formula for the trailer title.
The F Guy. Yeah, but also, there's been, what was that called? Red Notice?
Yeah, that was
Red
bad.
Notice is there. I could just watch Red Notice. I could watch Heart of Stone with Gal Gadot.
You could also watch Six Underground.
I could watch Six Underground if I wanted
With
to. If I
Ryan
was having a
Reynolds. Don't know what you would
masochistic
want to,
day.
but it's there.
Yeah. I could watch The Grey Man.
But I think we really do have to emphasize, Michael, if we were going to contrast the two films, Ryan Gosling is playing a silly little boy. He's not playing that in The Grey Man. He's playing a very serious man. He's playing a silly little boy in this.
Yeah, but wasn't the Red Notice? Everyone was a silly little boy in the Red
Everybody's
Notice.
silly little boys. Gal Gadot's a silly little boy who supports the IDF. The Rock is a silly little boy who supports Hawaii. It's a whole bunch of stuff.
We don't know where Ryan Reynolds stands on Israel. Well, I guess we'll never find out.
He supports a small town in Wales.
Yeah, he does. That's true.
Yeah. That might have been my best trifecta joke of all time on this podcast.
Yeah, it was very good, actually. I don't know if you're going to risk making that into a reel, Ben, in case Israel comes for you on the on the Instagram.
Sure, it wouldn't be the first time they came from a minority, would it, Michael? Hey! So there we go.
There we go. Wait till South Park do an episode about that comment.
Yeah.
Benjamin.
Anyway, go on.
I think that's it. I've no idea where we are. You've just thrown this week's running. We haven't even talked about the first thing, Ben. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, fuck me, Michael. I skipped 2 trailers.
You skipped the whole thing. You went buck wild.
Oh, yeah. They've made another Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes film.
Yeah. Looks like there's going to be loads of apes and chasing people around.
I thought we already got this, Michael, but apparently we didn't. We're getting another one.
Yeah. So this is set, if not many years, generations after the time of Caesar.
Yeah, there's no more Caesar. Caesar is dead.
Caesar's dead. Long live Caesar, Benjamin. And this looks like pretty much the final prequel before the humans have to show up in the spaceship.
Oh yeah, because that has to happen, doesn't it, with Charlton Heston?
Charlton Heston has to arrive. Now, I don't remember who went up in the spaceship in the first modern Planet of the Apes film.
I don't know.
I don't know if we ever saw them, but I think they had the foresight to not show the astronauts.
Yeah, hopefully they just deep fake CGI Charlton Heston's face on someone.
Fabulous. I'd watch that, Benjamin. But that will be the next film, I assume. Unless they give us a big twist and like the midway point of this movie, a spaceship crashes.
And it turns out it's a bunch of apes on a human planet again. Dun dun dun.
No, Ben, this is the ape planet.
Oh
Ben.
yeah, shit, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
It's the whole trailer is about there's apes and they're all living and stuff and chasing humans about the place with
Yeah, they're
bolos.
hunting humans. What's going on there? What's that about?
Well, Benjamin, have you ever seen the original Planet of the Apes?
I haven't.
Well, in that film, Benjamin, Mark Wahlberg, the actor formerly known as Marky Mark,
Yeah.
He lands on a planet full of apes.
That's not the original Planet of the Apes, you fuck.
That's the original Planet of the Apes, I'm pretty sure. Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes.
Keep
In
going.
the original Planet of the Apes, Benjamin, the actor Charlton Heston, another notorious bad egg, lands on a planet. He crash lands on a planet, and the planet is run by apes.
Damn dirty, filthy apes.
Yes, exactly, Benjamin. And he's like, "Get your hands off me, you damn dirty ape." And the apes are like, "Nah, mate.
Nah, mate,
We've
this is
got
our
you
planet."
now. We've got you. It's our planet." And the apes are just hunting humans with bolos and nets, and the apes are running around on horses and stuff. So this film, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, seems to be the prequel to that. But what story does this have to tell? I do not know. I cannot tell you.
I haven't a fucking notion, Michael.
Not a notion, not a single notion what this is going to be about.
Are these films popular enough to justify a 5th or 6th installment?
Which one is it?
7th?
I don't know.
Maybe
Well,
the
it's
8th.
the original with Marky Mark.
Planet of the 8th.
Planet of the 8th. Very
I don't know.
good.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Michael.
it looks good. The CG is continually impressive in these.
Is it impressive? I thought there were a few bits in that trailer I went up.
But Benjamin, none of them are real.
None of them are real. There's not actually talking apes and
Exactly. Well, there are us. But other than us, Benjamin, there are no other talking apes.
As you know, Michael, I'm a dedicated creationist and do not believe in the theory of evolution. So you can take that and wash your mouth out.
Yeah, I will. You're just spewing out the unpopular opinions this week, aren't you?
Lashing them out, Michael.
Pro-creationism.
Yeah.
Pro-bloody Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
So I'm not
I don't know if I was very pro-Kathleen Kennedy, Michael.
No, you were. You're very pro-Kathleen Kennedy.
Was I? What a bastard.
Yeah.
What a bastard.
You said if there's one ambition that you have in life, it's to be replaced with a diverse female.
But Michael, think how well your podcast would do if I was a diverse female.
Oh, it would be incredible. It would be absolutely fabulous.
Michael,
and
you'd
still be called
fucking
Ben.
rolling in it, man.
Millionaires. Absolute multi-thousandaires.
Two charming, ethnically diverse Irish people on a podcast about pop culture, bringing the absolutely phenomenal post-colonial view of pop culture that can only be born of an Irishman, combined with the dark and dry sense of humour that our island is known for. Michael, you'd be fucking rolling it.
Thousandaires we'd be. Benjamin, speaking of evergreen franchises that never court controversy or grow old.
Didn't know how you were going to pull that out of the bag, but you did.
It worked, didn't it? We've been watching Astro Boy.
Michael, Astro Boy is what we're taking a look at this week, because I took a look at Pluto 2 weeks ago, Michael, just to get a sense of what was going on, because I've turned into an anime boy, Michael. Nothing I ever wanted to be, but I'm a little anime boy now.
You're the podcast's anime boy now.
I know, it's disgusting. But come here to me, Michael. I said, but Jesus, this yoke's been around for fucking ages, because I had to do a little digging for last week's podcast. 1952, Michael, is when we got our first little Astro Boy installment.
That's absolutely ages, you fucking weeb.
Yeah, and so I said to myself, this merits a bloody Sure Look, Sure Listen podcast deep dive. Ireland's most ethnically diverse podcast needs to take a look at this.
It might be.
It's
actually
not.
Ireland's most ethnically diverse podcast. Only one of us is ginger.
Well, I mean, that is as close to minority status as we're getting. So, you know, that's fair enough. So, Astro Boy, Michael, goes by a very different name over there in Japan. He's quite often known as Mighty Atom.
Yeah, that makes much more sense.
Yeah, because he's the world's first atomically powered robot.
Benjamin, now, I hate to jump across you so early in this, but I watched the 1980s cartoon.
Yeah.
And I'll never forgive you for me having to watch a 1980s cartoon.
That's not my fault. I didn't ask you to do that.
You literally told me I had to do it. But Benjamin, worse than it being a 1980s cartoon, it's an incredibly low energy dub.
Oh, no!
By Americans of a Japanese 1980s cartoon.
A Western
and
dub?
It has. Yeah. And Benjamin, I didn't know until a couple of weeks ago when you told me that in Japan he's known as Atom or Mighty Atom.
Mighty Atom.
And internationally he's known as Astro Boy.
Yeah.
But because I now know that, I was privy to one of the dumbest lines in the history of pop culture.
Go on.
So, Sally, or whatever the hell her name is a kind lady who's nursed Astro Boy back to health after being sold as a slave to the circus.
Yeah, the fucking awful circus, man.
And then Astro Boy turns out to be not only good at being a robot, but one of the best at being a robot.
Yeah, he's the best.
And then she goes, how come Astro Boy is the best? And Dr. Elephant, which is a terrible name, he says, because he has a big nose, you see, he says, well, he's an atomic robot.
Oh, yeah, that'll do.
He's powered by the power of the atom.
Yeah.
And then Sally says, oh, well, if he's powered by atomic power, we should give him a special name.
Yeah.
Astro Boy.
Oh, yeah, that's very special.
That's stupid, Ben.
Yeah. Non sequiturs are great for naming. Very unique.
It's one of the maddest things I've ever heard. And it only made sense how mad it was when you realised what they've done is just dub the Japanese translation literally.
Yeah.
But change the name.
Yeah. It's called racism, Michael. They do it all the time.
I don't know if it's called racism, Ben. It's just called bad dubbing.
It's just called bad dubbing. Not to mention the fact, Michael, that the Mighty Atom is a fucking great name.
So is Astro Boy. Let's be
Astro
fair.
Boy's pretty good.
Astro Boy's not a bad name. I'm only complaining about that non sequitur line not making sense.
Yeah, no, that's fair. You hate non sequitur lines, Michael. They're your least favourite lines.
They could have come up with anything they wanted. But
Yeah.
instead they said, well, if he's atomic, let's call him Astro Boy. They should have called him Atom if he's atomic.
That should have been his fucking name, Michael.
Anyway, that's my main gripe for this week.
Well, that's good. I'm glad we got to one. I'm glad, Michael, that my absolute ravaging of the running order hasn't thrown you off your A game.
You just ravaged the running order, Ben. It's an absolute shambles.
Just fucking threw it away this week, Michael. Don't know what's going on. I'm probably going to go see a doctor after this. There's something clearly amiss. It's very,
Dr.
very
Elephant,
upsetting.
Maybe.
Maybe. Come here to me, Michael. So, Astro Boy made his first appearance as a side character, no less, in a 1951 manga series called Ambassador Atom.
Okay, go on.
Or Hirosai Atom, as is. I definitely got that wrong. But anyway, he became then the protagonist in his own series, Michael, and he would go on to become what is essentially Japan's most beloved shonen character. So
Japan's Mickey Mouse.
Japan's Mickey Mouse, Michael. And I think that's a pretty accurate parallel. I wasn't sure about that when you kept lashing it out there last week, Michael. But having done the research now, I think we can comfortably say, yes, he is Japan's Mickey Mouse. And there's a number of reasons that we can say that with sort of certainty.
Go on.
Primarily, the creator of Atom, Osamu Tezuka, in 1952, was a massive fan of the Disney films. He purported to have seen the film Bambi over 90 times.
That's too many times.
That's too many times, Michael. Tezuka, buddy, take it easy. Go watch a different film. It's fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to watch that one all the time. It's okay. We know
How
you're
has
a
he
fan.
seen it, Ben?
Osamu Tezuka?
How has he seen Bambi all the time? Was it just always in the cinemas back then?
I don't know. Maybe he got his own personal VHS of it, Michael.
They didn't have VHSs in the 50s, Ben.
I don't know how they did it, Michael. Look, there must have been some way to watch media at home.
There wasn't.
Then I don't know how he's seen it now. Maybe he's a liar, Michael. Maybe he's a liar.
That's what it is.
He's just a big fucking
We've got to the
liar.
bottom of this whole story.
Yeah,
Just
that's the bottom of that. So that sent me down a rabbit hole, Michael, because that was one of those moments where my brain went, no, that's not possible. Because Bambi didn't come out till like the 60s. Bambi came out in 1942.
Yeah, Ben. Disney's old. 100
Threw
years.
me off my fucking game, Michael.
Oh, yeah.
It sent me into an absolute spiral, I won't lie. But anyway, he created it, Michael, and he described it as kind of a reverse Pinocchio thing.
Go on. His nose
where
goes smaller every time he tells a lie.
Yes, much smaller every time he tells a lie. But come here to me, Michael. It's not that at all. The reverse nature of it is the fact that Adam doesn't really care about being a real boy. He likes to fit in with the humans, but he doesn't want to be a human. He just wants to be a very good robot.
Yeah, he is a very good robot.
Yes, he's a very good robot, Michael. So he was created primarily to be a shonen protagonist, and shonen manga is young boy comics. That's essentially what they are. And they are...
That sounds dodgy.
It does. But they are media that's designed to be consumed by basically tweens.
Little Japanese fellas.
Little Japanese young fellas who want to read a comic book. And he came up with Astro. And Astro is very cute, very appealing, as was a lot of media post-World War II in Japan.
Except Godzilla.
Except Godzilla. But that came later, Michael. That came towards the 60s. No, it came in the 50s. Never mind. I take that back. Shame on me. Shame on me. But come here to me. There was a little bit of a mandate back then, Michael, that a lot of media would have to be uplifting and cheerful and would have to show a Japan of the future. And this was kind of mandated by the government at the time because they were wrestling with the absolute trauma of the nuclear bombing of Japan by the United States, lest we forget. And the fact that the entire country was financially crippled and in a bit of a bloody recession.
So, Benjamin, he is the light side to the terror of Godzilla. They both stem from nuclear worry.
Absolutely. That's a fascinating way to look at it, as two sides of the same coin.
But he's like the bright and happy version of nuclear power.
Yeah, shiny, happy people.
Very good, Benjamin. I watched... Are we still talking about it here? Because I watched some of the 1960s cartoon.
You talk about whatever you want, Michael. It's your podcast
Benjamin,
too.
I watched some of the 1960s cartoon, and I tell you what, rubbish.
Rubbish.
Absolute 1960s rubbish. Now, it's very easy to be harsh on 1960s cartoons, so that's what I'm going to do.
Good.
Yeah, no, so that's what I'm going to do. It's rubbish. It's
Why punch up when it's so much easier to punch down?
Yeah, punch down at simple 1960s cartoons with very basic moral lessons for children, because that's what this is. It's super basic 1960s children's cartoon, and I can see the appeal of, you know, taking this many years later and making it dark and mysterious and adult oriented, because that's what they do with everything. This is to modern Spider-Man films what the Spider-Man 1960s cartoon is to Spider-Man. It's the first stab at a basic version of this character.
Yeah.
His origin story is told in one short, basically.
Terrible.
And, oh God, it's rubbish. And not only is it rubbish, Ben, but also, unfortunately, what's available on the internet is pretty low quality.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
Michael,
some of the episodes are hard to... it was tricky. Some of the episodes are hard, if not impossible, to listen to without subtitles.
Oh, fuck.
So it hasn't aged well. Now, the Japanese ones seem to be better, but I couldn't tell you for the life of me, Ben, what they were saying.
Ah, yeah. Well, you don't speak Japanese, Michael.
Japanese. No,
yeah.
No, not a word.
So that'll get in the way of that.
Yeah. But what I did then was I watched the 1980s reboot.
Very good.
And the 1980s reboot, Ben, was a very interesting cartoon for me to watch as a child of the 1980s, because when I was growing up in the 1980s, Ben, I was a commodity.
Because you were a little ginger boy?
No, yes. Well, I was a little boy growing up in the 80s, and everything that the Americans put in front of me, Ben, the hated Americans, everything that the Americans put in front of me was simple cartoon stories with very simple moral lessons, specifically to sell me toys.
Russians bad. Tanned fellas from the Middle East bad.
No, Ben. Like, don't do drugs. Be nice to your friends. Watch out for people with mustaches.
But you needed that kind of guidance, Michael. You were forever doing drugs with lads with mustaches when you were young.
I was mad for lads with mustaches doing drugs in the 80s. That's just what Ireland was, Ben. That's what the underground culture. The underground culture in Ireland in the 80s was lads with mustaches giving drugs to kids. But that's neither here nor there, Ben. I was watching Transformers, I was watching Turtles, I was watching He-Man, I was watching Thundercats. All nonsense designed to sell toys to children.
Yeah.
Or adult men.
Or adult men.
I'm holding up some of my Transformers, ladies and gentlemen. But this is much more akin to the European or other Japanese animations of that time period. That it's a serialized story. So the origin is 3 episodes.
Oh, that's good, isn't it?
Isn't it? And there's character development and growth.
Get out of
and
there.
Serious themes of slavery and robot independence. But then also episodes where the school bullies are mean to Astro and get stuck on a roller coaster.
Good, fuck them. Badass bullies.
No, Ben, he doesn't fuck them.
No, he doesn't. He's not allowed to do that in a shonen.
He saves them, Ben. And everyone learns the value of robots.
Because they're great. They're great lads for getting kids out of roller coasters.
Great lads for getting kids out of roller coasters. But unfortunately, again, the dub is rubbish. It's so low energy.
Michael, like many things of the 1980s, like many cartoons in the 1980s, the reason I got exposed to those, Michael, is they were absolutely inundated with reruns of them on the Den for years. You could watch the Astro Boy. Yeah, you could watch the Astro Boy weird-ass 1980s dub right up until I was about 14.
That's interesting, Ben. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Because I think I come from... I'm, 10 years older than you? Less? 8 years older
Less,
than you?
I think.
Something
I think
like
you're
that.
only about 8 years.
But for my generation, and I hate to speak for anyone, for all Irish people who grew up during the 80s, we didn't really get Japanese stuff in Ireland.
Really?
We didn't. Yeah. So I don't know, but I think people my age and older weren't really exposed to the likes of Dragon Ball or Robotech or... I hear a lot of stuff from slightly younger people or from Americans or from Europeans, but we really didn't get a lot of Japanese pop culture's kids stuff. I think that came a decade later.
Do you know what
I'd never seen or heard of this until this week.
Do you know what it was, Michael? Do you know what primarily led to that rise? Toonami. Do you remember Toonami?
I do.
Yeah. Toonami, when it was originally piloted, was a 2-hour evening slot on Cartoon Network. Or if not Cartoon Network, one of the cartoon running networks. But it was originally designed purely to air anime for an American audience, dubbed anime. That was its original intended purpose. And then so successful was it that it got its own launch as its own little series, and then it just became a generic cartoon channel over time where they'd show you any old cartoon. But it was originally designed to be a way of basically cheaply acquiring shows that already existed, dubbing the shit out of them, and then pumping it out to a captive audience.
Huh. Yeah. I mean, as far as 80s cartoons go, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I think it has those early tones, like philosophy and, political undertones with the likes of, robot rights and slavery and, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and it has his sexy evil robot enemy / lover, whose name I've forgotten. Apollo?
Pluto?
Is that his name?
Is it Pluto?
No, not Pluto. He's a big gold robot, a big sexy gold robot on a unicorn.
Oh, I can't remember what he is. I'll look it up. I'll get it. But Michael, those undercurrents are probably why it was rife for a bloody Zack Schneidering.
Oh, go on.
Yeah. So a man called Naoki Urasawa was a massive fan of Tezuka's work.
Atlas.
Say again?
Atlas. Atlas is the name of his big gold robot.
Big sexy Atlas. So Osamu Tezuka unfortunately passed away, Michael, in 1989, many years ago, at the very young age of 60.
Oh, that's not a good innings.
And a lot of the Astro Boy franchise continued, but didn't make a lot of growth throughout the 1990s, Michael. They kind of continued to honour the childlike legacy of Astro Boy and kept making moral lessons, shonen and that kind of thing. And the original run died out, and then it became various forms of media, like the cartoon, etc. But that all kept that childlike tone. And then Naoki Urasawa came along and said, but these themes could be so much better. And he created the now kind of deified manga, if you want, Pluto, which was a reimagining of Astro Boy's The Greatest Boy on Earth arc, which is a famous arc from the original run of shonen manga. And Naoki Urasawa said this would actually make a great detective serial killer mystery. And so he was given permission to do that, and it became a really suspenseful murder mystery. And rather than being centered on Atom as a character, it was centered on the Europol robot detective Gezeigt.
Yeah, we talked about him a couple of weeks ago.
We did, yeah. We absolutely did. It was a much darker look at this, and you can see it now in the anime. So the anime on Netflix collects all of the Urasawa arc. So there are 8 volumes, I think, in Urasawa's reimagining that he called Pluto, and all of them have turned into episodes on Netflix.
Ben, Japanese manga,
yeah,
they seem to run for a very long time and get through a lot of content.
Some of them run for decades, Michael.
Absolute decades.
Absolute decades. Berserk is one of the most popular, Michael. The creator of Berserk died before he could finish his run. But that ran for... It's like a dark fantasy version. Let me check this out here. Sorry, this is a question I wasn't quite expecting.
I didn't actually ask you. Oh, I did ask you a question, yeah. Ben, is Astro Boy still running as a manga?
That's another great question.
Is he still a popular character over there in that Japan?
Yeah, he's still a popular character, Michael. He's still a popular character globally. As you said, quite rightly, Michael. Mickey Mouse for Japanese lads. It's a whole thing.
Not in the sense of Irish people use the term Mickey Mouse to mean small and unimportant.
Yeah, like the lads with mustaches who keep tricking kids into doing drugs with them.
Yeah.
Mickey
Real
Mouse sheriff
fellas.
bastards. Yeah.
Yeah,
That kind
not
of
in
thing.
that sense.
No, not quite that, Michael. But he's still incredibly popular as a thing, evidenced by this kind of reinvigoration. Reinvigoration? Is that a word?
Reinvigoration, yeah, or revigoration, whichever one you want. One of
All
them's
right,
right, one of them's wrong, but you
I'll
stick
use them
with
both.
whichever one you prefer. Do.
I'll use them both. But
Yeah.
yes, he still kind of runs, but it's mostly done through reboots now, Michael.
like Spider-Man.
2022 saw another reboot of it, and the French are making their own anime in conjunction with Japanese creators, and that's up and coming at some point in the future, but we don't know when we're going to get
What
there.
are the French making?
They're making an Astro Boy series.
A French Astro Boy series to compete with the Netflix Astro Boy series.
I don't know if it's directly to compete with them, but it's certainly to give him another spin of the wheel, as it were. But he has endured remarkably well, Michael. His legacy is really, really, really indentured in Japanese culture, and he also still has an impact on general culture today. Have you heard about the big red boot craze, Michael, in male fashion?
Did you say the big red boob craze?
No, the big red boot craze, Michael.
Benjamin, look at me. Look at my face, Benjamin, and look at the way I'm dressed.
Yes,
Do you
there's
think
a
I
rugged
have heard
handsomeness
about
to it. What
There,
of it?
I mean, I won't deny that, Benjamin.
You
but
wouldn't.
Is there? No, I wouldn't, would I? But is there anything about anything the way I look that make you think I've ever heard of any trends in fashion?
There's a certain twinkle about the eyes, but no, I suppose there's nothing in how you dress that would give that away.
Yeah.
No.
Look at you, Benjamin, with your nice double-breasted cotton knit overcoat thing.
Yeah.
Or is that just because you're cold?
It's quite cold. It's quite
I'm dressed
cold
like a 17-year-old in 1997, Ben.
here. You are. You do have the cut of a 1997 Irishman who's just learned that he's not supposed to go with lads with mustaches. But come here to me, Michael.
What?
About a year ago, a company called Mischief, and that's MSCHF. They're kind of a male fashion brand. About a year ago, Michael, they released their version of Astro Boy's big red boots. Famously, Astro Boy has a pair of absolute mud-clopping, bright red, shiny boots on in a lot of his media.
He got them in the circus, Ben. To go with
He got them in the
his
circus.
trunks.
You know that because you've watched the
I've watched his origin stories twice.
Yeah, so they launched these boots, Michael, and it kind of divided the streetwear scene in male fashion, because one half of the world was like, these are fucking great, and the other half of the world was, these are the shittest things I've ever seen. They are just rubber boots, Michael, essentially, in the animated distinctives, completely non-functional as shoes.
But you can't wear them.
Oh, no, you can, but they're just so big and galumphing that they're not very practical for walking around in.
Oh, you can, but why would you?
But why would you? There you go. Good man. Good man. I knew you'd get me there eventually. But yeah, loads of, like, it became a big rap item, Michael, worn by rappers. They became kind of a coveted item there. Fascinating kind of cultural thing that little Astro Boy booted along. Very interesting. So he's still very relevant, and he's quite a recognised character because we've seen reruns of those shows and the like. You know, people still recognise Astro Boy, and he's still out there. So there you go, Michael.
Fabulous. What's next for Astro Boy?
Probably that French series, Michael.
Oh yeah, you said.
Yeah.
Astro Le Maestro.
Le Maestro. Or Le
Very good.
Matin.
What do they
I
call
don't know
them?
which one they're going to
Will
go.
they call them L'Atom in French, man? What do they call them in French? Do they call them L'Atom or L'Astro?
I feel like the French, purely because they like to spit in the eye of anything English, will call him Atom.
Yeah, they'll probably just call him Jean-Jacques or something.
Yes, Jean-Jacques the Space Boy.
Jean-Jacques Space Boy is from space, as they say.
Garçon du Space. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it from us this week. Are you
Probably
an Astro
forever,
Boy fan?
To be honest. Probably forever, to be honest, when the French get a hold of us.
Yeah, or anyone who likes structure in their podcast episodes. We're doomed either
Fucking
way.
hell, Ben. Some mad shit this week.
I made a fucking hames of it this week, Michael. A hames of it, I tell you.
Just no running order whatsoever.
Fucking terrible stuff. But
Running
come here to me,
disorder,
Michael.
more like it. What?
Oh, get the fuck out of here. Jesus fucking Christ.
That was a good bit. Running disorder, I said.
Come here to me, ladies and gentlemen. You can get in touch with us in a few different ways. You can find us on the interwebs, www.seomrabeag.com, seomrabeag.com.
It means tiny room in Irish.
You can find us on our Acast website at sherlockshlistenpodcast.acast.com.
Yeah, all the Acasts are there.
Yeah, just have a look at that. You can find us on Instagram at sherlockshlistenpodcast. We're doing all right. We're kind of clawing our way back to the top.
Yay!
Yeah.
That's Ben's depression fought back for another week.
Nah, get fucked. It's got a full hold on me, Michael. It's terrible. You can find us on TikTok at sherlockshlissen.
You can't go on there for Ben's depression.
That's also doing quite well. Thanks very much, lads. And you can find us on YouTube if you're looking at us there. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd always love to hear what kind of episodes you'd like to hear, so you can get in touch with us and let us know a few different things. Right now, Michael, we've got nothing on next week. So we haven't come up with that. I don't know.
The
Maybe
Marvels,
we'll do
I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose we'll have to talk about that. Do you want to talk about creepy capitalism? Will we pull that one out of the chamber?
We could pull that one out of the chamber, or we could go see the Marvels, I suppose.
Yeah, we'll go see the Marvels. Maybe we'll talk about how Jonathan Majors is the cause of everything that's wrong in Marvel today. Maybe that's what we'll do.
I think we did that already.
I think we did. Yeah, we probably did.
We did, I think, and I wrote that article for Variety. Remember?
Oh yeah, and they didn't give you credit for some reason. Really weird.
Absolute bastards. Yeah, they thought I was Jonathan Majors.
They thought you were Jonathan Majors, and you're like, "Thank you very much for this very useful article, but get fucked." Right, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Bye.
See you next week when we'll have seen the Marvels, undoubtedly.